2.5 years ago, Speaker Pelosi wanted very strongly to green the Capitol, green the House. And she directed Dan Beard, in his first day on the job, to set out a program to do this. And Beard's vision, which has been adopted, I think, quite readily by our leadership, is to make the House of Representatives a model of sustainability. Now, those are not empty words. Those are not empty words. And after 2.5 years, we're making tremendous progress. And this contract is one of the major elements of that strategy. 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, when we first established our Green the Capitol goals, one of those goals, Congressman, was to achieve a 50% reduction in energy use on the House campus over a 10-year period. Now that is a big order. The routine, just for comparison, a typical federal agency would expect to achieve 30% right now. So we, and this contract, we're on track, by the way. We're on track, maybe a little over, but this contract will help us continue that progress as we move over the next 7 years. And we can take this to the bank, because in order for this contract to be awarded, there had to be an energy audit done. And that audit forms the basis for how much, for what we do in terms of upgrades, but also for how much is going to be paid back over time to NORESCO. So they had to get it right. And so I think it's a program where we can kind of hang our hat on those future savings as we go forward. I don't want to wrap up here without pointing out the importance of having strong leadership to get this kind of thing done. Top-down leadership here at the House has been essential to our success, and it's unwavering. And Congressman Welch is an integral part of that. We really do appreciate the vision and the attitude of our leadership in supporting us here in the Green the Capitol program. I want to thank you again, Congressman, for letting me be here, and I'll be glad to answer any questions at the appropriate time.
Okay, well, we really appreciate the great job you guys are doing.
Thank you. It's a great job to have.
We have, it is. We have the president of the Alliance to Save Energy here, Kateri Callahan. Kateri, would you like to
Sure, I would.
I
would. Thank you, Congressman. The Alliance to Save Energy, just for those of you who don't know us, we are a nonprofit organization headquartered here in Washington. We've been around for 32 years advancing energy efficiency. So you can imagine our delight to come here today in the halls where we're always knocking on people's door and asking for legislation that can help drive efficiency into the economy, to actually see somebody putting it into practice and walking the talk. So we're delighted to be here, and I want to commend Congressman Welch as an EE hero and green hero, as has been said, not just for walking the talk and making his office carbon neutral, but very importantly, I think, for demonstrating in a real-world situation that energy efficiency is the cheapest and the quickest way to carbon neutrality, and showcasing to everyone who walks through the door, and I hope you give everyone a tour of the bathroom and point out the lights, because it's the best way to show Americans that energy efficiency is really for everyone, and that there may be good environmental reasons for putting these upgrades in place, but closer to home, it's good for the pocketbook, and you're also more comfortable typically when you make efficiency upgrades in terms of sealing the house, sealing the windows, making it more comfortable. Congressman Welch mentioned a number of statistics and said how it all adds up. One that I would like to see if you guys might carry along, just in terms of what they've done with the lights here, it can be replicated by Americans all across the country. And EPA has said that if each home in America, if each one of you that lives someplace goes home and changes one of your incandescent light bulbs to a CFL, if you add all that up, that's $600 million in avoided energy costs and enough electricity to light 7 million homes. So these little things add up. What Congressman Welch does, along then with all 434 of his colleagues, are going to roll up to big savings. And I just have to mention, because he comes from Vermont, that Vermonters really get it on energy efficiency. It's no surprise to me that one of our biggest hill champions comes from Vermont. Vermont right now has one of the lowest per capita electricity use rates in the country. They use about 60% less electricity per person than the national average. And they're doing that from the year 2000 forward. They've had an initiative called Efficiency Vermont that's been delivering energy efficiency savings. So Vermonters every year are saving about $31 million in avoided energy costs. So Congressman Welch is bringing the good things that Vermont is doing to the Capitol and then spreading them around. I mentioned that the Congressman isn't just walking the talk. I also wanted to mention a couple of pieces of legislation. Besides leading by example and showing people the way, he also is providing, attempting to provide the financial wherewithal to let businesses and homeowners make the kinds of efficiency improvements that you see here. He introduced a bill called REAP, the Retrofit for Efficiency and Environmental Performance, that has a goal of improving energy use in homes and businesses across the U.S. by 20%. And providing financial incentives to do it. It got picked up in the Waxman-Markey bill that passed the House. A version of it is in the Senate Energy Bill. And I think more importantly, it is the genesis for the Cash for Cockers program that you all have heard about, that the President has endorsed, and his Economic Recovery Advisory Board. So I'm hoping that's going to become law. I'm hoping that that provides the financial incentive, and he's showing the way for Americans to be there. And I just couldn't applaud you more for that and for what you are doing, along with the architect of the Capitol and Noresco and others.
Well, thank you. Just wrapping up, we all know that if you do energy efficiency in a concrete way, you're going to create jobs, you're going to save money, and you're going to reduce carbon footprint. And there are very concrete things that we can do that are meaningfully beneficial to all of us. That don't have to that don't require us to have debates that are unresolvable about the esoteric things that we sometimes discuss around here. So why don't we open it up for any questions that you have? Yes.
I'm sorry I missed the beginning, but how does the financing work?
On this, for the energy savings performance contract, Noresco has a contract, and it's a company that will be making these improvements. And then they're putting the money up, about $34 million. And they are going to be paid back over time from the energy savings. So it's really self-financing. There's money to be made by saving money.
Well, and without using one taxpayer dollar to do it.
That's exactly right. So it's performance-based. You know, they have enough confidence in the installations that they'll save us money. That they're willing to front the money and be confident they'll be paid. So no taxpayer dollar.
Preceded by an energy audit that sort of establishes the baseline and also establishes the kinds of technologies that we want to use in a retrofit.
Anything above the baseline is then considered savings, which then goes to repay.
Isn't that right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
okay.
That's exactly
But not
right.
all the savings. That's what the beauty of this is.
Yeah.
Some of the savings are coming back to the federal government. So it's a shared savings.
That's right. Right.
And how is that, I guess whatever, there's some formula for that, or what goes where?
Yeah, and typically in a contract, they guarantee a certain amount of savings.
Okay.
So that's what they get paid. And of course, at the end of that contract, the government reaps all of those savings.
Right, okay.
I think another vision
contract.
here to take away is, this puts us, we'll never be inefficient again, as inefficient as we were in these very historic but older buildings are not that efficient from an energy standpoint. So we are now going to be at a new plateau that we'll never return to the old days.
Right.
We can always make more progress from here, but that's the comfortable feeling, and that's the wonderful thing about this, is that we really will be in a completely new arena in the efficiency of our operations and our day-to-day management of the House of Representatives.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Congressman.
Congratulations.
Thank you.